Alright guys, Tetrabit here today, and I want to go through some of the Twitter and Reddit drama that we had yesterday, because it was looking like 2014 again. It was WWE all over the timeline, absolutely unbelievable stuff, and the focus of it was JKap versus Clayster, of course. JKap's just been dropped off EUnited, supposedly he wanted to get Clayster dropped, and then he ends up getting dropped off the team, and he said a few choice words about Clayster, and they even accused him of being the cod burner. If you don't know who the cod burner is, some man or woman, nobody really knows, who has been leaking intel on the inside of the scene for, well, about a year now, leaked some really reliable intel, always seems to have some really reliable intel on EUnited, and once again here, so, you know, JKap thinks it's Clayster, I don't know about that so much, but he's definitely a smart guy, and he's in the pro community, so, you know, what am I to say? So this post came up on Codburner's Reddit a couple of days ago, talking about some rumours. I thought we'll go through the rumours first, then we'll go into where they led in terms of yesterday's actions. I like if you enjoy it, subscribe if you're new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. And yeah, okay, let's have a look over some Rostermania rumours right here. So, Envy wants to release Ace and replace him with a Maddox, Genji wanted Simp over Envoy but Bayard is massive, Red wants to move Shocks into the lineup in place of Bance will be released after the next league matches, which aligns with what Bance was saying, being a free agent and the like, e.g. considering dropping Fellow for Alex. So European player who's been superb in terms of stats so far in Black Ops 4, so maybe he'll get his opportunity over there. And then he says, or he or she says, the post on EUnited was right. If it wasn't, you know, Clay would be the first one saying it's wrong. Everyone knows the vibes backstage at Fort Worth were terrible, and Cap's trying to scumbag players of other rosters to take their spots after EU wouldn't drop Clay. Splice is thinking about moving Jerd or Aqua. Not going to comment about Priest because it's all rumours unless he saw the doc support. Editing to say here, Envy is also talking to Parzelion on UYU and Scraps. Editing to say Zero confirmed they told Bance he was gone. This is the tweet he's referring to. So EasyMac replied to Zero earlier saying, why did Bance tweet out free agent then? I'm sure you guys saw that tweet a couple of days ago. Effectively, he just said free agent, nothing more than that. I know that I saw Shocks is playing in a LAN this weekend in Australia, so it all seems weird. He tweeted out free agent because we did tell him we're trying to find a way where the team stays together because we're actually a good team. This seems super weird in terms of the explanation. Doesn't seem to make much sense to me. So they told Bance he was going to be off the team potentially, but they want to keep him because they're a good team. So why are you trying to get rid of him in the first place? A little bit intrigued. I'm sure you guys will have some thoughts on that. And this is where it all kicked off really. Rated said, you may think grass is greener on the other side, but if you took time to water the grass on your side, it would be just as green. Scraps to Envy confirmed. Do you think Envy are going to pay 200k for Scraps? So, you know, this is borderline interesting. One quick update before we get into the JKap and Clayster stuff. Lightning Pandas have confirmed this team for CDBL London. We have Maple coming into the team, who of course played with Chain on that Vitality squad with Tommy that got top 12 at Champs, alongside Dave, PT and Hawkey, so in case you guys were interested. So this was a very interesting interaction. I mentioned in yesterday's video that JKap thought that Clayster was the cod burner, and I didn't think he actually maybe fully believed it. This guy said along the similar lines. JKap said, oh no, I think 100% it's Clayster and have for a long time. Now just to get into the detective stuff, we have here from Beezy. I heard from a reliable source the burner was posting on Reddit while Clay was mid-mapping scrims yesterday, so unless he's multitasking his next level, I doubt it. I think we got to get Scooby-Doo on the case. There's definitely been some rumours though that it's someone connected to Clayster or someone very close to the EUnited family, because when they got the rumours on Felony joining for Silly last year, nobody really expected that and it came true. And then they've got all these details, really intricate details of exactly what Pristini might have said to Burns and how it all went down internally, and there hasn't really been too many people and too many pros on the timeline disputing any of the details there particularly, so I'm sure a lot of it is accurate, which does beg the question, how does Codburner have so much intel on a team like EUnited without the guys on EUnited surely knowing who it is? Alright, so this is when the show really kicked off. Nameless says, I need JKap and Clay on the podcast ASAP. JKap says he's down. Need Clayster, but he said he doesn't have anything to say, which is the tweet I looked at yesterday. I think the idea is dead, unfortunately. Maybe I'll just come alone and tell my side of the story then. Codburner has everyone thinking I have the ability to brainwash people still, which is, you know, well, it's not everyone, is it? Clay says, I mean, shit happened before, we worked it out, didn't play well at Fort Worth, a change was made. I've really got nothing else to say on the situation. I explained it for the most part already. One thing I'd appreciate for you is to stop calling me the burner of pure speculation, which I think is a fair point. I think the JKap has to some degree gone too far with arguably like the character assassination side of things, because it depends how much reason he actually has to believe it's Clayster, but you know, if you're going to make a big claim like that, you probably got to have some evidence to back it up. I'd never risk my career and my friendships over some bullshit intel account, and yeah, that is what I thought about Clayster really, because he's always been the one complaining about the COD burner in that what he does for the scene and the issues it causes in terms of contracts. So just quickly explain the reasoning again. I said yesterday, if one team is figuring out a contract with one player and then it becomes public and everyone knows about it, then all of a sudden that changes the dynamic because other teams could know what's going on and then players can think maybe they're better off as elsewhere, and it completely screws with that side of the game. I loathe that account because it spreads stuff nobody needs to know. It's ridiculous I have to defend myself because you for some reason think it's okay to just say it's me. JKap says the following: I was actually considering last night why I was so pissed at you in all this, when realistically the decision to bench me was 100% Burns, and I came to the realization that I just don't like you anymore because you're the most arrogant and self-centered person I've ever met. Pair that with the fact that you're so consumed by trying to have all the fans like you, hence your quote about manipulating COD Reddit that I tweeted yesterday, and you've turned into an absolutely horrible teammate over the past few years since I last teamed with you in AW. Clayster replies with the following: and that's cool dude, you're entitled to your opinion all you want, good luck in whatever team you join, and for the record, trying to drop you was not just all me. Didn't even cross my mind until I heard the others talking about it first. Interesting. Just didn't think it was a good idea to make this public while we were still teaming. So, well, I guess it is what it is. JKap versus Clayster, whose side are you on? So to follow this all through, a lot of people on Reddit were talking about JKap, meltdown and the like. He decided to post this on the Reddit. There's a couple of posts. I'll just read through these again because Clayster didn't really post too much on this Reddit thread, but he certainly did. So we'll just go through them. Don't really want to take too many sides, but I'm sure you guys will find this interesting. Were you guys not asking for my side of the story? I gave you guys the 100% unfiltered and transparent truth from my POV, and now you guys are calling it a meltdown. And the reason I didn't come out with it earlier is because I obviously don't want any of this public while I'm still on the team, especially the part about our 3 teammates mentioning dropping Clay to me before I ever told them. I'm a grown man who's been in this scene for a long time and have dealt with way more hate criticism in that time than the other 3 guys. When Burner spun it on me as convincing them, I figured I'd let that storyline rock and deal with the hate I knew I'd get rather than throw my teammates under the bus and have them be the target of the pitchforks you all pulled out. I'm not immune to hate and criticism, and nobody is, but I sure as hell trust myself to be emotionally stable more than most others in the scene, especially 3 guys who are significantly younger and less experienced. If you want to take this as ironic as an example of me not being emotionally stable, go for it. But in reality, the truth is that you all crave when stuff like this happens, and now I'm no longer on the team, there's really no benefit in hiding it. I think Apollyon Project makes a fair reply to this in terms of the fact that he is effectively personally attacking Clayster, saying he is the COD burner, and also the way he is somewhat taking credit for protecting his teammates after it's all been had. Obviously there seems to be an element to which that JKap is salty, I guess you could say, from getting dropped off the team. I don't think anyone really wouldn't be, but there's definitely a point to be had here. I'll link this Reddit thread in the description box below, of course, but just to highlight another JKap tweet: he's selfish, cares more about his stats, his roster spot, and what you guys think of him than actually winning. He trolls during practice, going for highlight reels and entertaining rather than getting better as a team. He's told people behind the scenes I tried to get him dropped by everyone on board for it when it wasn't really what happened. Pro players have known this for years now, and it's why he constantly has beef with people and gives an opinion on situations always that have nothing to do with him. This is also why very few of his former teammates will say behind closed doors they like teaming with him, because it's been the same since about AW. It all led me to the point where I don't like the person he is anymore. Not being a smartass here, but generally, what other question is there to answer? I thought my tweets covered this as a whole. If I were to go into examples and stories, it'd be way more than tweets. So I guess there's that. So then everyone decided to kick it off, and I think Parasite said something on stream to do with accuracy, and then Lamar responded to him with this, who now deleted it, and then Parasite responded with this, and then Lamar says, you throw shade on stream and are confused as to why I'm confronting you, and then wonder why no one messes with you. Win more than 2 freaking maps at the tournament before you come back talking crazy about any other player. That's pretty funny. And then we have these last couple of responses between Accuracy and Slasher, again, to do with that whole manufactured drama. I don't know, people seem to love it. It's WWE on the timeline, baby. And then Slasher and Aches were just bantering a bit here. You know that these guys, none of this stuff's serious, but I thought it was pretty entertaining regardless. God, I'm you trash can. Just imagine Crim 6 on every team. I don't want to hear it. Top 16 at champs with the God Squad. And then we have a nice back and forth here between Parasite and Rated, going at it in terms of, who's the better AR, saying that Parasite's a slug. No wonder your team aren't winning maps at events. Their ARs are running around with high engagements, playing like a sub. And he's talking about accuracy here, I think, on that Splice team. So I'd be interested to hear your thoughts about this, guys, in the comment section below. I guess you don't have to choose sides, but if you were to, whose sides would you be on between JKap and Clayster in terms of the story that they have presented so far? It's a very interesting one. JKap's off the team, but, you know, as he leaves, there's definitely, I think, both sides have probably done something wrong, as it always tends to be. But I'm sure you'll have some thoughts on that. Of course, JKap's out the door now. Simp coming into the team. I did talk about that and change in yesterday's video if you guys are interested about it. And yeah, well, do you think Clayster can ever win a tournament again? That's what I want to put out there, because on this story from JKap, the way he describes Clayster as not the kind of guy you want to team with anymore. No, too arrogant, too self-centered, doesn't really care about practice and improving, cares more about the fan base and the like. Do you think that element of his character, because I don't see any reason why JKap would particularly be lying about that, and I guess there is some degree of character assassination here, and it's probably as a result of him maybe being salty or whatever of being benched, but, you know, you also did see him say that it probably wasn't Clayster's decision that he got benched, it was most likely Burns, who is the general manager of the team, Burns off regardless. So anyway, he's still come out with what he said about Clayster, and yes, well, do you think that's true? Because I feel like it probably does represent some degree of reality. There's always two sides of the story, but if that situation keeps up, of course, Clayster is not the guy that can even get dropped realistically off this EUnited team because of the fans that come alongside him. And therefore, maybe there's an element of not necessarily complacency, but if you're an undroppable type player, then maybe there's not as much willingness to go super hard to try and win championships and to be the best you can possibly be. Maybe it's something similar to what we've seen with Scump in the last couple of years. Of course, to a degree with Scump, he's lost some of his drive probably because he won the world championship. That's what a lot of people say. Maybe at the same time, because you're Optic Scump, there's no way you're getting realistically dropped off that team. The two names are synonymous. Then there's less motivation to grind the game super hard as much as maybe you did a couple of years ago. I'm sure you'll have some interesting thoughts on that. If you got any last Q&A questions, leave them down in the comment section below of this video. I'll make the Q&A over the next day or two. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new as always, and I'll see you next time.
Or it's a bit awkward taking B.
Behind the bomb.
John, try push up.
I have no bullets really.
Name has gravity spikes, can I go to make a thing?
Oh.
Absolute one shot the top building. I need to get a gun.
Just use them if you can, Liam. He's got little room.
Planning.
One shot, little room.
Top now, are you fucking with me?
Top one shot, top one shot.
Can I plant?
Oh, it's gone away.
I'm gonna plant, I need help.
Did you get them? Did
He's
you
gonna
get
be little room, Lima.
Please help.
Bomb has been planted.
You've
You
no
have to be
bullets
kidding
if
me,
you
I just won that.
You've no bullets, Liam.
Alright.
Oh, back
Oh,
at it.
shit.
Oh my god, fair enough. Did you see that, Kieran? Were you watching me?
No,
I ran out of bullets, but I punched him twice. I hit him with the left, right, and got the bomb down still. Look at this play.
Oh.
I ran out of bullets and I had to punch him to death and still plant the bomb. He was not expecting that.
What the fuck was that round? How did we just win that?
I planted this at 6 seconds.
We keep winning these retarded rounds. We actually keep losing the easy ones and winning these stupid ones.
I have annihilator now. Yeah, B in the
Do you
truck.
want to back out of there, Aaron, and we all flank?
Yeah, they're all here. They're all here. Well, at least 2. No, honestly, like I'm good this side.
Flank. Maybe
Yeah, you can flank. You can flank.
I reckon
Doesn't
we
mean
just camp though, Limo. Like we just hold the spot back here.
And then play the retake. Yeah.
Bomb is armed.
Yeah.
Run back, Ali. I know he's here. Hang on.
I think they're pushing you.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I'm just waiting for a second.
He's up top, out by bomb. I got him.
Okay, I don't know. I'm pushing up top right now.
Maybe Jesper or back alley. No, not back alley.
Someone else up a bit. It's planted for the little room.
Okay.
I'll get on it.
Okay.
I'm on it.
Oh, he's top.
Good trade. They naded somewhere.
I have
I'm
one.
watching our flank here. I'm
Nice.
watching our flank. Just chill, just chill. I'm kind of watching our flank, but I haven't fully got it. I'm just watching if they do actually decide to push it. One's here, right here, Liam. To your left.
Oh, he's pushed up on me. Oh, he's one shot. Turns.
Dead. Last goes on me.
Another one.
You're pushing
Where?
into the room, like into A, like this what you had.
Or go.
Oh my god, Kieran, you're the fucking best. Jesus Christ, what was this play?
The sticky assholes and you killed them?
Oh my word, that asshole was the sticky one.
I just did the party lie down.
Hey, you did a party card
Just
for a minute.
exploded. Oh wow.
You teased it out.
Fuck yeah, you actually did tease it out of him. You were caressing the...
So that guy just
Fucking
not pulled out his
friendly.
war machine at any point, that man.
Well, that works. How the hell did we win that game?